Welcome to episode 2 of Cold War Nations. This is Santiago, and this will be an overview, and I'll be talking about how exactly we'll try to analyze and answer what the impact of the Cold War was on Cuba and Cambodia. I'll tell you about the key question that the series will try to answer and dissect why it is so important, and I'll share the thesis that we'll try to develop using different perspectives and a roadmap of how we'll get to that answer. Be advised, things will get complicated, so pay attention. The Cold War. That long-lasting conflict that wasn't even a war, that brought us so close to extinguishing ourselves and even most organic life forms on the earth. A conflict so terrible that it wasn't one war, but many. Here, we want to understand it from the viewpoint of consequence. Key concept here, everyone. The Cold War was a consequence of another loaded word, ideology. As you can see, the usage of that word has become more and more popular as the 20th century progressed, and it peaked by the end of the Cold War. Not only that, but the usage of ideology itself as a tool to justify installing dictators, conquering nations, mass murders, and ridiculous wars by both sides of the conflict peaked right along with the usage of the word. And thus comes the Cold War. To really dive deep into consequence, we need to ask one key question that will help us move the research along from different perspectives and really dive into the topic that we're trying to explore. The key question is examine, compare, and contrast the impact of the Cold War tensions on Cuba and Cambodia. How exactly will we answer that? First thing we'll do is try to understand both countries before the Cold War. What were their societies like? Did these countries have serious baggage that they were dragging already, so filled with dynamite it was ready to explode? Then we'll go into the immediate effects on our nations. Were 2 million people brutally murdered because of one sick man who went to school in Paris? Or was the entire society to blame in some form or another? What happens when a country gets tired of being another country's private casino? How did the egos of two superpowers almost turn a small island into the epicenter of human extinction? Why did a man who had everything in Cuba decide that he was better off dying in a schoolhouse at the hands of the CIA? Finally, more consequence. How can a defeated ideology perdure even after so many lives are lost because of it? How did communism have to evolve to survive in the age of smartphones and Tesla cars? Are our countries really better off now thanks to resilient beliefs. Why didn't those beliefs fade away when the Berlin Wall fell? As we answer those questions through the lens of different perspectives, we will justify our thesis. Our thesis goes along as follows. The vastly different forms in which the Cold War affected both Cuba and Cambodia at the time had both nations the similar effect of producing a period of political stagnation that has lasted until the present day. In Cuba, this can be attributed to the complicated legacy of the conflict, which made it the recipient of great benefits and also the victim of a bitter grudge from the United States. In Cambodia, this is due to the lingering trauma of the horrors of Cambodia's Khmer Rouge, and in the Cambodian People's Party appeal as the only alternative since 1985. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like it and subscribe and tune in to the next video where I will talk about the first part and try to answer a little about each country's societies before the Cold War